Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, or good night. This is Fola Sade. I will be doing a small reading for you guys, a short reading. This is going to be a soul connection, divine soul connections reading. And this is going to be for those who are basically asking why, or kind of confused on their connection, like who they're connecting on in a soul way, to where they can't explain it. This is for those who are experiencing somewhat of a turbulent connection, where you've had a lot of tower moments where it seemed like everything was falling apart. You've questioned over and over, like, why is it this person? Why is it me? Like, why did we cross paths? So if that sounds like you, then go ahead and take a look at this reading. And don't worry if this reading doesn't resonate with you in any way. That is okay. If it does, please leave comments. I would love to hear anything you have to say about it. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you. This reading in particular was a personal reading. And I'm only sharing it with you guys because it has been very, very similar to a lot of, the few other readings that I've looked at. When I pulled this reading, I had actually just finished doing a reading that I thought I was going to post, but ended up not posting because I just got a message that I shouldn't. So that one was not a personal reading. That one was meant to be a collective, but that one, the spirit said no. So I was like, okay. And I just, for some reason, this one like really was significant to me. Obviously to me personally, but just like, I was like, I feel like a lot of the collective is experiencing this right now. Some of you are not. Some of you are good in your connections, and I am so happy for you. I really am. But I was actually talking to myself, and I had my wisdom of the oracle cards just spread out, for me to pull, or that I had already pulled from. But like I said, the reading that the divine said no to, I was just like, okay, well, I started talking to myself. I was actually in a heavy, I was feeling very heavy yesterday, and just very, almost depressed. I was feeling very depressed yesterday, and it was strange to me because I thought I had cleared that energy the day before, not completely, of course, but like just where I was feeling okay. I'd meditated, I talked to spirit. I was like, okay, I'm good, thank you, But yesterday I woke up and I was bawling. I was just crying all day yesterday. So like I said, I had the spread that I wasn't going to post, and I had the, ray of wisdom of the oracle cards still sitting there. I wasn't using them anymore, but I started just talking to myself. I was like, why, why, yada, yada, yada. And as I'm talking to myself, certain cards I'm being drawn to pull. So this was the first card I was drawn to pull. Can you see it? Oh my God, that's terrible. There you go. This is the Fates. And you see the stars here are lined up. So, stars, the stars are aligning. You are meant to cross each other's paths. So for those of you that were asking, why did I meet this person? I know, I can't help but to know, I can't help but to know that me and this person were meant to meet. But for what? For what? Because I'm here like this, and this is your answer. You were meant to meet. What you already know, you were right. You were meant to meet. Here, boom, here's your confirmation. It was fated that you guys meet. Okay? Why? Why? part of it had to do with lessons. It says by the book. And this card is about the laws of the universe, pretty much. It's also about learning and understanding. What highlighted to me when I read the meaning of this card in particular was, let me actually read it for you guys. And that's the number 11. The first one was 17, the fates, and the next one was the number 11. If any of those numbers resonate with you guys, excuse me. Okay. Like I said, this is the wisdom of the Oracle deck. Okay, so by the book. That is page, what number is it? Let me stop guessing. Okay. So I'm going to just read what highlighted to me in particular. Getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. Find the middle ground that allows the relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of the other person. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want to do them. Or the way you want to do them. Your connection will deepen as a result. Again, that whole thing was very significant to me, but what really stood out to me was getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. So this card, let me just say something about myself. I am an advocate for treating people how I want to be treated, treating people how you want to be treated. And what I mean by that in one aspect is, no matter what stage of life I'm in, if you say you love me, whether you be my family member, my significant other, a friend to me, a close best friend, whatever, I want you to believe in me. I want you to trust in me no matter what stage of life I'm in. I could be on the street, addicted to drugs, whatever. But I want, every time you look at me, I want you to see the potential that you saw in me before I got there. It's okay to be concerned. It's okay to want the best for me. It's okay to want to help me in whatever way you feel guided to help me. But doubting me or completely just letting that belief in me that you had before disintegrate, that I don't like that. I'm gonna just say that. I don't like that. And I am also an advocate for anything is possible. Anything. Miracles, magic, everything like that. Anything is possible. I believe it. I believe it 100%. So, I'm watching the time. So this by the book card, you may be dealing with someone who has treated you in a way that, or let's say, treated you in a way that you never imagined yourself being treated, or they're not, in fact, let me say it like this. They're not treating you how you want to be treated. They're not doing with you how you want them to do. And it's okay to have boundaries. It's okay to have self-respect. More than okay. You're meant to have that. All of those things. And that's where balance comes in. You have a certain way you want to be treated, and you have certain things that you aren't going to accept. Things that are just not okay, not just for you, but things that are not okay for majority of people. It's like, I'm pretty sure most people would not like that thing you just did. So, okay, so things like that. But also understanding, okay, I don't like what this person did. This hurt me, but there's always a background to that. There's always a reason for that. And the thing may seem stupid. It may seem ridiculous. It may seem completely unnecessary. It's like why? Why? You know, why are you doing this? Why are you responding this way? Why are you talking this way? Why are you being this way? You know? But what have you looked to see what that person has experienced? What that person has been through? And that is not an excuse, but it still should be taken into consideration. That person has the option to heal from those things. Before healing, realizing and accepting that those things have to do with a lot of the pain that has been caused, not only to you, but to maybe others in their life. And that also affects them, the guilt. But they really don't know yet how to deal with that. You know, that may not be something that they've given attention to, their emotions, the guilt, the hurt that they have. You know, eventually that stuff festers. So, you know, just keep that in mind. So that's what this by the book is for. So we have the fates first. You guys were meant to come across each other's path. It was destined. You couldn't help it. And you felt that when you guys met. And this other person felt it too. Whether they've told you or not, they felt it too. And your intuition is what tells you. And sometimes you have to quiet yourself, to quiet your mind in order to get the answers that you're looking for. And sometimes if you're not getting it, you're not meant to know at that time, but you will. And then we have by the book. That was the second one. Understanding and consideration, which can be hard to do. A lot of people want these things, but for some reason can't do it. It's so weird. Anyway, we're learning though. The next one we have was chop wood. And this one was advice. What you need to do right now. When it comes to the connection, nothing. Going with the flow. Which is accepting what's going on right now, which may be nothing. It may be quiet. Nothing is happening. And, you know, the human side of us, the ego, gets frustrated sometimes. Because like I said, you want certain things. You want them now. I want my money and I need it now. I'm kidding. But seriously, you know, you want certain things. You want them at a certain time. You want to know when it's coming. You want to know how it's coming. You want to know what it's going to look like. And you want to change it around to what, but we can't do that. Acceptance. There are different forms of acceptance. This is another one of them. Accepting this person, accepting your love for them. You may know that you're in love with them. You may know that you have love for them. There's a difference in love and having love. But have you accepted the fact that you love this person despite anything? You know, the whys, the how can I love this person, the all this, you haven't accepted it yet. Accept the fact that you love this person. It is okay. It is all right. Okay? So the chopping wood, this card is about, I would just want you guys to see it. This card is about bringing your focus to yourself, the little things in your life, the things that you think are insignificant, minuscule, don't really matter, because what's really taking your attention right now is probably the frustration from this connection, the why. Take yourself away from that. This card is about spending time in meditation, taking care of yourself. And when it comes to those little things that you thought didn't matter, a lot of the time, as you're focusing on those little things, what's it called? Organizing your bookshelf, organizing things in your life, cleaning out your car. Sometimes those little things that you're doing, you know, you get those aha moments. You're like, oh my gosh, you could be driving, just taking a drive, talking to spirit, talking to yourself, talking to God. And as you're talking, you answer your own questions sometimes. And you're just like, oh my God, I get it. And that actually happened to me. And that's how I kind of understood the by the book card. Like I said, along with other readings that I've watched. One of the other readers that I watch actually is Nylea Guerrero. I love her. But yeah. And so after the chop wood was TikTok. We all know what this is. Timing. Divine timing. Things coming together in divine timing. And you don't really know what it's going to look like when it does come together, but all you do know is that it's going to bring you clarity. The clarity that you've been seeking, and the answers to the questions that you've been having. But, you know, during this time that you're waiting but not waiting, you're chopping wood. You're chopping wood. Acceptance also includes, like I said, going with the flow. Whatever's happening right now. That's what's easiest, because resisting only makes it harder. Resisting anything, honestly, only makes it harder. Even swimming, going with the flow. If you're going to try to swim against the tide, you're going to exert a lot more energy than if you just went with it. Simple way of putting it. That's the usual example. So just go with the flow right now. And it's okay to, you know, have those moments of sadness or depression. You're human, so you're naturally going to go up and down, but the goal is to shorten the waves in between each other. You know, or no, actually, let's say, yeah, shorten the waves in between each other. Don't stay down. Don't stay angry. Don't stay depressed. Whenever you find yourself in that mood, allow yourself to purge, allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to just write down whatever it is you do during that time, as long as it's healthy and safe for yourself and others. Do that. Take a walk outside. Go somewhere alone. Scream if you have to, but don't stay there. After that moment, you realize, okay, now what are some good things? Even if it's only one or two, pull out some good things that are happening in your life right now. What's going on right now? There's something. Trust me. You're alive watching this video. So that's one thing for you. Boom. The next, fill in the blank. You know, even if it takes you some time, don't feel bad. But just make sure you get out of that. So after the TikTok was deep knowing. Like I said before, you already knew that you coming across this person's path and them coming across your path was destined. It was meant to happen. In a way, you know what this person is in your life, but you may not exactly know the full picture. You can't see the full picture yet. You know, there's always more going on than you can see. And that's the moon's energy. More going on behind the scenes. Not really clear on, you can't really see, you know, because the moon, you know, it's dark outside. You only have the moon's light. It's not quite clear. You know, the picture is not quite clear. So we have the moon here, and there's a moon behind the owl. And if owls are significant to you, take that into consideration too. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but in this card here, we have stars. There are stars there. Can you see? In this chop wood, we have a couple of stars. There, you know, there. And of course, the fates, the alignment of stars. So that's just another strong indicator that this connection was destined, regardless of where it is right now or what's happened between you guys or what was said between you guys or not said, or whatever was done or not done. You know, this connection was destined, okay? So trust your intuition. Trust whatever it is you strongly feel that you know. Trust that. Don't keep questioning it. You know, don't keep questioning it, because then the ego comes in and then starts talking. It's like, oh no, that's just you. That's only you who thinks that. You're probably crazy. And the ego, you know, you were never going to get rid of the ego, okay? We're just meant to balance the ego, quiet it, at the right times. Like it was like, okay, shh, shh, not right now. Be quiet. Because ego is there for protection. Fear is there for protection. During the right times, whenever your intuition is telling you like, okay, the situation's not exactly the safest, need to bounce, that's what it's for. So it's never going to go away, but we need to learn to quiet it when it's not necessary. Unnecessary protection. So again, we had the Fates, By the Book, Chop Wood, Timing, TikTok, and Deep Knowing. And the last card of this lineup was Soulmates. So if it ever occurred to you, could this person be my soulmate? Is this my divine feminine? Is this my divine masculine? Whether it's been confusing for you or not, whether you can believe it or not, it's likely that it is. I mean, the card came up, so. And like I said, whenever I was doing this, I was just talking to myself. Only pulling cards that I was guided to. And the numbers, if any of them are significant to you. One thing I will pause. One thing I will say with the numbering was I got 41, which was Soulmates, 42, which was Chop Wood, and 43, which was Deep Knowing. So that to me signifies progression. Things are moving forward, even if it doesn't seem like it. So acceptance is key right now. Acceptance of where things are, accepting this person for who they are. This person is not their actions. You know who this person is. You guys can see past what they've done, what they haven't done, what they've said, and what they haven't said. You guys can see past that. And that is what drew your soul to theirs. But things are progressing, okay? And the other numbers were 11, 17, 30, and I haven't said these other two cards, so I'll pause on the numbers on there. The next cards I pulled, these were the last two that were separate from the lineup, was No Place Like Home. So you guys feel like home to each other. You may not have said this to this person. They may not have said it to you. You may have no sort of tangible or like audible confirmation of this. So you've been questioning a lot of the time. Is it just me? It's not. You guys feel like home to each other. But before you try to come together or, try to reach out to this person or whatever it is you're considering doing, before you do that, you need to see whether or not you are at home within yourself, because everything begins with you. Everything starts with you. Nothing can be stable or work out really in the long run unless both people feel at home within each other. Both souls feel at home within themselves. If you can't come home to yourself, if you can't sit in your own energy, how are you going to sit anywhere else? How's anybody going to sit with you? So that's where Chop Wood comes in. Spend time in meditation. Learn to love yourself. Learn more about yourself. Buy a journal. Buy a new journal, because the one you have may be unorganized or just full. 2020 has been time for a new journal. And write your ideas. Write down your passions. A fresh list. What are my passions? And organize those. How do I execute them? What action steps do I have to take? Set out time for meditation so that you can invite Spirit's energy, get messages that have been waiting there for you or that you've been receiving but haven't been quite clear on. And that the number of that card was 50, 5. So 50, and that breaks down to the number 5, which is about changes. Significant changes. They may be challenging, but changes are ahead. And the last card was Time for a Nap. Again, there's a fox there, so that might be a spirit animal for you or not. The number 24, it breaks down to 6. Balance. time for a nap. That one's pretty obvious too, but that one is, again, meditating. Excuse me. It's kind of like the Hermit's energy or the Four of Swords. Spending time in solitude, not self-isolation. Self-isolation is different. Self-isolation, you're feeling bad, you're in a negative energy, so you isolate yourself. You know, solitude is realizing that you may have an imbalance somewhere or a blockage somewhere, maybe in your chakras or just in your spirit in general, and you feel this imbalance or you feel this blockage, so you need to do some searching. You need to do some inner searching, some inner work. And that's what this time for a nap is. That's what the Four of Swords energy is. So this whole reading, this small reading, is about acceptance. Acceptance of what's happening right now. Acceptance of who this person is. Acceptance of the love you have for them. Accepting what your intuition, what your spirit guides, what your ancestors have been telling you all this time. This is about trust in divine timing. Trust in the divine, God, Holy Spirit, your angels, your guardian angels. Trusting the message that you received that this person is your soulmate. Accepting that you guys were meant to cross paths. That the stars were aligned and it was just time. It was time for you to learn these lessons. Oh, and again, there's stars in this one too. And another thing I noticed in this reading is there is a lot of earthy colors, deep greens, army green, grassy green, brown, tan. So there is a lot of grounding needed. You may be very, all over the place. You're kind of feeling all over the place spiritually. There's not quite a good direction right now. Like you're kind of floaty, in a floaty energy, somewhat in a fog. And that's a calling for grounding right now. That good grounding techniques are like going outside, simply going outside for a walk, sitting down in the grass, going to a park, going to the beach if there's one near you. Unfortunately, there is not one near me, but I've been craving the beach like crazy, so hopefully one day. But if you have a beach, if you're so lucky to have a beach near you, go to the beach. Sit in the waves and allow the waves to just wash over you, wash over your spirit, because actually water is a very spiritual, what's the right word? Very spiritual, I don't want to say channel, but I don't know the right word, but if you know it, you can put it down. If not, it's cool. You know what I mean? But you can receive a lot of things through water. The water itself has a spirit. So do some grounding work, okay? Be in the moment. Being in the moment wherever you are. Bringing attention, okay, what's going on around me right now? I'm hanging out with friends. We're sitting at a dinner. We're talking about this, you know, I'm eating this delicious food, or it's disgusting and I wish I weren't, but I'm having a great time otherwise. So make sure you do some grounding. There's also blue, a little bit of blue and purple. So if blues resonate with you, you know, that could be a thing. But yeah, definitely grounding is needed. And yeah, that is it for this reading, pretty much. I hope you guys resonated with this. If you did resonate with you, please leave comments down below. I appreciate you watching it. And yeah, I love you guys. We're all on this journey together. The human side of me is saying, oh my gosh, this is terrible. It's so hard. But the spiritual side of me is like, you know what? I appreciate the lessons that I'm learning from this. I appreciate the growth that is coming from this. A lot of growth, you know. Because before, if you heard me, I'm like, you know what? I could have learned these lessons in a different way. I don't need this. I don't need this person. I blah, blah, blah. And you don't need this person. You don't need, you know, any one person. You know, there are people in your life that, in general, we need people. In general, we do need a community. But when it comes to a soulmate or a divine soul connection, there's never a need for that one person. What we need is ourselves. That's what we need, to come home to ourselves, to be one with ourselves. Our higher self need to be one with our earthly selves. So like I said, that's it for this reading. I love you guys. Comments down below. If you have questions about personal readings, go ahead and let me know. You can either message me here on YouTube. You can add my Instagram. I have it somewhere in my description. Like I said, any questions you have, just send me a message. I have my email and my YouTube written in my description. Not on this video, but in my personal channel. So you guys have a beautiful day. And yeah, all the love.